Welcome to episode 25 of the Irish Fitness Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Custom Gyms. Custom Gyms is one of the new up-and-coming gym gear suppliers in Ireland. They will be working closely with us this year on the IFC, where they're getting some custom-made Irish Fitness Championship plates and bars. They're selling a lot of other gear as well that's going to be used at the event itself. So check it out on their IG. If you contact Gary, he will hook you up some fantastic deals there on the pre-used gear. You can order them now. I believe they only have 2 sets left. I think it's around about 2 sets, so they flew out, Shane. Right. Absolutely flew out. We had originally planned the event again for July, and the 10 sets that were ordered for July are gone. So we ordered another 10 sets. And 8 of them are gone now, so There's only 2 sets left. So if you want some of them, folks, get on it ASAP. Custom Gyms will be there at the actual event itself as well. They're going to be selling all their bars, their dumbbells, D-balls, plates, all that kind of stuff, and you can pick up a nice little discount on the day. So if you're an athlete or hopefully a spectator, you'll be able to get yourself some nice gear, snag some nice gear on the day. So Shane, how are you, buddy?
Oh, good.
How's things? You keeping well?
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yes, indeed. We are doing this episode as an IFC special, so we're getting a lot of questions. Still have a load of answers, a load of messages to answer rather. So we're just going to go through some of the details of the event as we know it so far. You know, everything is kind of play it by ear at the moment. It depends on the regulations from the government and all that. We shifted the actual date from July to August, which I think is not too far off. You know what I mean? It's around about 7 weeks in the difference, but obviously in this kind of climate with the virus and the restrictions and all that thing, it was the safe move to make. So shifting it back 7 weeks, it enabled us to put on the event. You know, we'll see how things go over the next few weeks and months with restrictions and stuff like that, but basically this episode is just to take us through what we know now, and we can discuss, you know, what's going on at the moment with it, and then we can kind of take it from there. So I'm going to give you a little rundown on ticket sales first, and how many people are in each division and stuff like that. So we opened up the ticket sales last weekend, Shane.
Yeah.
And they flew out, gone in 60 seconds, literally. People were messaging me, asking me, did I really even have the link? Was that a real link? Some of them thought it was a fake link.
Jesus,
because it went so quick. There was a limited amount of places, obviously, in each division. And
everything got called off in the summer. The summer is competition time here in Ireland anyway. So all the local comps were completely wiped within about 2 months. I think there was probably 6 or 7 actual comps supposed to be on in the space of about 3 months, which happens every year, obviously. And there's more and more added to the calendar every year now, just competitions popping up all over the island. So I think when they got called off and people had to go to their back gardens and train with their barbells and all that, then when they saw something like that pop up,
all over.
It sold out like a concert.
All over it. I was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
I was worried because I was thinking to myself, okay, how many people have access to the right gear to train and stuff like that?
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, I think for most of the RX athletes, they might have access to a gym. Some of them are gym owners. You know, if they're that really seriously into it, they probably have a set at home themselves.
Yeah, and they're probably ordering stuff.
Yeah.
When the minute it happened, they're probably already looking at getting pull-up bars, barbells, plates, dumbbells, everything, mats and stuff like that. Like we were saying before, people will find a way if they really want to, you know.
Yeah, if you really want to do something, you'll figure out how to do it, and the fact that it was so far out as well.
Yeah.
Like we gave pretty much, we gave a load of notice before, and then it was 14 weeks out since the actual tickets went on sale. So I think that's reasonable. If you've been tipping away, say, up until March, then you took a little bit of a wind down because of all the craziness.
Yeah.
Most of the RX or some of the people would have kept training through, and then you could say to yourself, right, 14 weeks game time. That's like a good long camp, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's plenty of time. Even now, like if you really start hitting the ground running now, you'd have loads of time to be like peaking for a competition, especially when it's at the end of the summer. So you have a whole summer of training. If you think about that.
I think so.
We're only coming into June now.
Yeah,
we're not going to the end of August, so
you could get some good like gymnastics, cycling in. You could, you know, obviously up in your conditioning, perfect their lifts. You might even get, you know, a couple of kilos here and there.
Yeah, you would.
But you know, thinking about, I'm sure everyone knows that in the IFC we run. So everyone's out there, they're
Everyone's
running.
Yeah. They should know by now anyway that
Yeah.
there's going to be running, you know.
There's
So
dumbbells on the way as well, lads. You know, we'll be dealing with our 22s and our 15s for the ladies, so we know they're coming. We have our barbells, obviously. We'll be putting up the rig down there. So there's all the different stuff that we will probably have seen last year. So yeah, the amount of people, basically, we put the tickets on sale. We got a massive, fantastic response. I'd just like to say thank you for everyone who bought a ticket. I really appreciate it from me and the rest of the guys in the gym and everyone involved. Thanks for having the faith in me to put on an event. And you know, you have to have a certain amount of faith in this day and age, because we don't know what's going ahead.
Yeah.
But as I said to everyone, if it doesn't go ahead for any reason, we will fully refund you. But up in here, that's not happening. You know, I will do whatever it takes to put it on in a safe manner, of course. We'll be complying with the HSE guidelines, the government guidelines. We'll be doing it all legal. We'll have the COVID marshals. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have COVID marshals down there, making sure, going around, that everyone is adhering to the social distancing and stuff like that. And if the worst comes to the worst, lads, we won't have spectators.
Yeah.
You know, I'm perfectly willing to forego the spectators this
I mean,
year.
there's plenty of sports now going on all over the world that are doing that. There's just behind closed doors. UFC are doing it.
Yeah.
German soccer league is doing it.
Are they? Yeah, the soccer's going on as well.
The whole.
Is it in a stadium?
It's in a stadium. It's on a pitch, but there's no
Mad.
fans.
That's crazy.
And there's a limited amount of people who are like backroom staff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's in Germany. They're going ahead with it because Germany were one of the better countries for it.
Yeah,
When they went
yeah.
straight into lockdown, I think, and were able to get rid of any kind of. Some countries were a bit late to the party, I think. You know, so they weren't kind of left in the dark. But the
Yeah.
UFC obviously doing that thing with Florida where they're just going down.
That was brilliant, man.
Florida
Love
don't
it.
care, that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
they're
love it.
just,
I can't wait to see Fight
spectators.
Island.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to be like.
But like more and more sports are doing it because they can do, and America, and it's very different to Ireland right now in terms of like there's CrossFit gyms open in America. I don't think there's any open in Ireland, you know. So
No.
even in Europe now, I wouldn't say there's CrossFit gym really open.
There's a few in some of the countries that are opening, but it's
But it
very
won't be like
limited
fully,
and stuff.
yeah, it won't be like the not regular class times or regular class sizes, you know. So like sports are coming back, and if you look at it now, like we're 3 months away,
Yeah.
and we still have to go through 5 phases.
Yes.
And by the time we get to maybe the 4th phase,
Yeah.
or in the 2nd phase, going into 2nd phase now, by the time we get to the 4th phase, like life is kind of returning back to normal a bit, and we're just thinking about distance.
It feels a bit more normal now, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does a lot more, just because supermarkets are not as restrictive, and you know things are starting to be like there's groups of 4 people, which is kind of like let's be honest, you weren't hanging around in groups of 20 people anyway that
No,
much, you know.
no.
So
If you're
a group
hanging
of 4
around with,
people is kind of like,
20 people, you're probably a teenager,
yeah,
folks.
exactly, and the teenagers are already doing that now,
Yeah,
so
they're doing it
you
anyway.
can't stop
So
them
they
doing
didn't
that.
give a fuck.
You can't stop them.
There was no social distancing
No,
being here
nah.
or there. It's hard to tell kids though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know
of
you can
course it
tell
is.
them and all that, but they don't understand, because
Yeah.
unless Nanny dies of COVID, then they'd be like, the virus,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
But having people around at the event to say, here, you know, or on a barrier, don't be so close to each other, leaning over a barrier, looking at the events or whatever.
Yeah, so basically what we'll do is we're going to put together a structured COVID plan. So it's going to be about the social distancing, about the 2 meters or whatever distance they tell us. It's going to be, if the spectators there, there'll be there'll be markings on the ground where they can stand, on the banners and stuff like that where they're hanging over. There'll be cleaning between the heats. It's impossible to eliminate all physical contact, because say if me and you were on the same team, you can't clean the bar in the middle of a workout.
No.
So if you're picking a teammate, lads, make sure they're not getting the virus and all that kind of stuff. Bring out your little thermometer after every heat or before every heat. Yeah, but most people that know, okay, Jimmy is my teammate, he's not sick or he is sick, and if he's sick, don't come near us, stay away.
Yeah.
But that's basically like, by the time it comes around, we'll have real structured guidelines. At the moment, we're just saying, right, we're going to adhere to all the government stuff, and that's the best we can do. We're going to make it nice and safe. We'll have our hygiene up to scratch. We'll have our COVID marshals, and we'll make sure that everything is good like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In terms of numbers, guys, we have our biggest ever RX competition in Ireland. Biggest ever. We have 60 male athletes with a big waiting list. I still have a load of people to get through. There's people on the waiting list. It's very unlikely. Actually, there's definitely no way we're going to release more RX spots. We don't want to oversell it.
Yeah.
We could easily go up to 100, I think, by the looks of the messages. But that's not what we want. We want to keep that quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that means if you have 100 and then plus 30 females or 150 females, you have to shorten down the workouts. And it really just, you're only in it for the money then, you know what I mean? We want to be able to do the long workouts. We want to be able to do the medium ones. We want to be able to do, you know, all the different stuff. We want to
test and fitness.
use we want a broad general test. And the more people you have in it, the less testing you can do, we'll say.
Yeah.
So we have our 60 male athletes with a waiting list. We have 27 female athletes, most ever. And I think there's a few more that I still have to book in. So we have all the big names there, you know. We have obviously Emma, Cara Hamilton is coming down for the first time. Shout out to Cara. We have a new girl, Zoe. She's Emma said that she's the next Emma McQuaid. She's 18 years of age.
I saw some clips of that girl.
I saw on her Instagram she was like overhead squatting 85 kilos from the ground, which is, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's a
You know
talent
what I mean?
right
So
there, yeah.
that's a good girl right there. We have Amanda, of course, stepping up the RX. She was no reason why she couldn't.
Yeah, why not?
She's 100% podium
One of the best in the
contention.
world for
She
her age
could
category.
she could push Emma on some of them workouts.
Yeah.
You know, the gymnastics ones and
Yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure.
that. She narrowly missed a place at the game. Shout out to Amanda. So we have really good female field. And then on the men's side, Shane, who do we have?
Oh, we're looking at all the boys, aren't we? Is it Sam, Petey, or no, not Petey, sorry, you get to
Not
that.
yet, not yet.
Sam, Army, Jamie, Mickey Smith, who else?
Tyg is in there.
Ty Lawless is
Yeah,
in. I think
yeah.
a lot of anyone who's kind of been floating around the RX scene looks to have signed up.
Yes.
Finally,
Finally.
yeah, we got all the boys.
Almost.
Well, we're a few months out. You never know what happens.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it looks
yeah.
like, for the most part, we have a kind
Top
of complete
dogs.
field of people.
Who are we missing? Who are we missing?
Missing the big man himself, Petey, who qualified for the CrossFit Games. And I know he's probably been called out now 100 times off different athletes, and people probably message him asking why he's not doing it or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's up to Petey if he wants to do it. But we can kind of understand Petey put in a lot of work to be the champion in Ireland, to get to the CrossFit Games, and that all kind of came crashing down when they realised they couldn't go because of what they're doing with the CrossFit Games at the ranch and stuff like that. So it's obviously a big blow, but like, we'd love to see him. I'll be in the division, and I'm nowhere near what Petey's like, but I'd love to just be on the same floor as Petey, just to throw down him, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And there's 60
Class.
athletes. So we have a big field, we have a well-rounded field, we have sanctional games athletes. So it's just a great one
We're
to throw
just
your hand in.
missing the one card out of the
One,
deck,
yeah.
the king. The king.
And you know what? Like, it's a great way, I think, to just prove your fitness of what you've done. You know, it's kind of like the Irish version of the games, just because.
It's putting a stamp on things.
Yeah,
isn't it?
we had it's an outdoor. Like, we've outdoor, indoor events. We've gymnastics. Every type of event. We've long aerobic pieces, short anaerobic pieces. You know, we've everything where we can go to different events. Like, there's not many places really in Ireland. Like, Waterford is such a outlier in that sense where you can't really go to different events. Like, I don't want in Kerry where they kind of brought us to different ones. But Waterford's great because Waterford's so small, and then we can go to a long trail run. We can come up here to the gym and do stuff in there, lifting. We can go down to a track, you know, and we have like the Witt Arena as well, which proved great last year, which is another huge venue, you know. So like the test is well rounded. I think everybody kind of knows that now, Tom's program and stuff like that. So it's just a great one. The boys are calling it the dance floor, and that's exactly what it is. Get on the dance floor. And
Get on. Owen McGregor had it right. He said we want to see everyone on the
why
dance
not?
floor.
You know,
It has to be that way.
no
Has to be that way.
sanctionals. You know, the sanctionals aren't going ahead. You're going to get the same test here. I know sanctionals obviously have a lot more money pumped into them, and they're huge events like French Throwdowns usually on the same time of year as the IFC, you know, all that kind of stuff. But like, why not? It's on your home island, and
It's the Irish Nationals.
yeah,
It's
pretty
the
much.
Nationals. We have all the top dogs in, apart from Petey, obviously. Please, Petey, if you're listening, please, chap, give the Irish fans what they want. I know it's tough for you now at the moment, but we all want to see you. We all love you, and we would all love to see you compete down here. You know what I mean?
sure, yeah.
All the rest of the boys stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
They put we've never had this type of lineup before, ever. We've never had all the top people. And we will never have this type of a lineup for another 5 years at
Probably
least.
not. No, this is kind of the generation now where we're all
They're
kind of coming
starting.
together.
They're all at the height of their powers
Yeah.
now. They're at the height of their superpowers. Army was talking about fucking houses and babies and stuff like that. Obviously, Petey is struggling to stay mentally in the game. Physically, he's at his peak, but you know, to put himself through the ringer again in that. Jamie is always in fantastic shape.
Yeah. Jamie's another one then who finally made it to CrossFit Games on a team.
Yeah. Oh man.
And obviously had that
Gutted
taken
for
away
him.
from because there's no teams at the CrossFit Games.
Gutted for him. Absolutely gutted.
we
I
know
wanted to see him
Jamie's
go for
proven
years.
over the years now to be one of the best in Ireland, if not the best. He was for a few years after winning the Open so many times. So Jamie wants to come down and prove himself. Jamie's done the IFC. He's won it, hasn't he?
Won it.
Yeah.
Army's won it.
Army's
Jamie's
won
won
it
it. Toig Carroll is back.
Toig
First
Carroll,
ever
yeah,
champ.
Toig
Shout
from
out to
Cork is
Carroll.
back,
Toig. I was delighted to see that. I
I'm
saw the
excited
name.
to
I
see
was
the boys
like,
come up from Mallow
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
They're a good group of lads down there.
It would have been nice if Fowl did it as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I
why
know
not?
he got a lot of stick over the other
We'll have
team,
Toig,
but it would have been great to see
Toig
him
and
up.
Darren from Mallow are in.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to them. They're really good athletes as well.
Fanula as well down there.
Fanula. I think Rowan Bray is not.
He's
in
not.
The, in the
I
country.
messaged him and he was away.
Yeah, he's in Dubai.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting all corners of the island now.
unreal.
We're getting everyone down.
The lineup, lads, is absolutely phenomenal. We have, the best of the best, basically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boys from up the north, a lot of up-and-comers as well who did well in the Open this year. Some fantastic females we have coming up as well.
That's the big thing happening now
all the
in Ireland,
regulars.
where you can see that next generation of females as well.
Yeah.
The males are always there.
Zoe and Eddie
but
Pike
the
and
females
whoever
starting
else.
to challenge now a bit as well. So that's a good one.
It's going to be mad, man. But again, it's the absolute pinnacle now, because it takes years to get as good as the lads.
Yeah.
Years. Like the 18-year-olds and the 19-year-olds and all that, it'll take them till they're 23 or 24 to get to that, because it takes experience. You have to build up that man strength as well, you know what I mean? It takes years to build up to that kind of level. This is really, it is the last dance for a few years anyway.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if we see all of them guys, the top guys, back again next year if we get Petey. You never know though. I'm hoping, maybe fingers crossed, see how things go this
All
year.
we can do is keep asking Petey.
Yeah, that's it. Please, Petey. Somebody reach out to him.
Yeah.
So we have our 60 males. We're going to be probably hitting that 30 females when everything settles. We have at the moment 15 scale teams, male and female, 15 inter teams, male and female. We have 5 in all the masters divisions, 5 teams in each. Then we have 10 in the ninja divisions. Now, there was only one girl signed up for the bodyweight ninja one, so we're going to scrap that. I'll be in contact with that girl later today, and we're going to stick in extra teams, which is good. So it gives double the amount of people the opportunity to compete. I know that there's no other comps this year, and there's a load of people wanting to get in. So if you are an inter team or a scale team, we will be releasing 5 more places in each division, male and female, at 7 p.m. tomorrow. We're not doing a waiting list. There was too many people, just it got a little messy with both the page and the DMs and all, and people private message me and stuff like that. So it's literally going to be fingers on the button at 7 p.m. and hopefully you can get a spot for that. That's the roster, we'll say, for the actual event itself. The venues. So let's talk about the venues. So we're obviously hoping for the RSC. We're still waiting on them with their procedures and all that kind of stuff. We have the gym here. Definitely 100% no spectators in the gym. It was chock-a-block last year.
Yeah,
I didn't even realise. I only found out like last week how packed it was, because I wasn't up here.
Great atmosphere.
You were here though, was you?
Oh my God, I was lifting and snatching, and I could just see people up on top of me. No space. You couldn't actually run off with a snatch like most people do across the competitions, because you probably run into a crowd. So, and you had a judge on top of you, so you're in a heat of 5-6 people.
Nice.
Judge on top of you, whole crowd. So our gym, if you've ever been in our gym here, it's more like we have a class side and an open gym side, and all the open gym has platforms for lifting. So that's where we were, because it was lifting. And it was just, everybody was just crowded. So the open gym side is way smaller than the class side. It's like half the size of it. So everyone's in this one small space, and you're lifting, and all you can see is eyes.
Love it.
And you're lifting in your
I
own
would have
gym
turned
at home.
around, man. I hate looking people in the eye when I'm lifting.
That's what it was though. You had to,
you had
be
to
comfortable
do it.
with that, because there's so many people in there.
Yeah.
And that's my home gym, and I don't know one person there.
Yeah, that's
I
class.
was just like, no, I don't
and
know.
the cars were way down there,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
They were way
It was
up.
like, there was like there was a hurling match on.
Yeah, that won't be happening
Cars were
this year.
parked a whole way down.
Although there'll be 90 people in there, so. But what we'll do is we'll make it nice and safe. We'll have an outdoor warm-up probably area. We'll make sure that we're adhering to the social guidelines for distancing and all that kind of stuff. So we have basically the RSC, that's in the pipeline at the moment. We have the gym, we have the WIT. We're gonna John Windle, shout out to John, has agreed again to kindly agreed to take us on board for that. So we'll have the Friday evening out there. And that's obviously spectators again, depending on what's going on.
Bigger area out there, so it might
It
be
is
a
a
bit
big
more leeway,
area. We
but,
might be able to do some. I'm sure John will have some.
It's not
kind
very
of
closed off space either.
boundaries
It's very,
as well.
it's all fields and astroturf and hills and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and we may have a fourth location. So I'm working on some things. I'm excited about it. I haven't seen it, definitely not in Ireland before anyway. Have I seen it anywhere? No, probably not this particular event. So we're going to be giving you RXers hopefully, and the RX Masters as well, Claxton and the boys.
that's one thing that's happened as well. Masters are in
new
the same
team.
division, but
Yes.
get their own leaderboard. Yeah.
Yes, that's it, lads. So I was doing some training the other day, and then I get in the middle of the training, fucking Claxton starts blowing up my phone, and he's there, right, Dunphy, I have an idea. And he said, how about giving us our own division? So he wanted his idea was that the Masters, whoever wants it, can sign up as individuals. They get their RX ticket, and they do exactly what you're doing. But we'll put them on your leaderboard, but we'll give them a separate leaderboard as well.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's like the Open.
Yeah,
You know the way
subdivision.
subdivision. So for this year, and we might do it again, we'll see what happens. The boys have agreed again, all the top boys, there's Judgy, there's Claxton, there's Mickey, there's Louis is dealing with a bit of an injury, so he can't, but a load of the top masters, and they're going to do exactly what the youngsters are doing, so that should be
good.
good
Yeah, I
for a
can't wait for
laugh.
that.
I'm writing the programme there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Claxton do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be hilarious.
That'll
lads.
it'll be fun. It'll
It
make it a
will.
lot more. Claxton knows how to kind of get people's attention.
does,
As well,
he
so
does.
It will be fun
He's a mad bastard, right? But he knows how to promote an event.
for sure.
He knows how to promote himself, and he knows how to promote an
Yeah.
event, and I love it. And it's great that the hype that he brings to the thing as well.
And he'll just, I mean, these competitions, you probably know yourself, competitions can get a bit serious sometimes.
Yeah.
And you want to, as much as like people want to win events and do well, like you have to enjoy it as well.
You do.
And I suppose Claxton's about that big comic relief when it comes to stuff like this. you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he's
'Cause
gonna-
It does get quite
imagine
touchy
him in the
warm-up areas and stuff,
warm-up
you know,
area.
Yeah. Fellas sharing the same bars and whatever
Yeah.
stuff like that, but like it'll have a bit of crack with Claxton there, you know. So
Yeah, you will. It'll loosen things up a little
I'll
bit.
be looking forward to that.
And the
yeah.
Masters as well, they don't take things as serious, so
Yeah.
it'll be a good little kind of it'll take our mind off the serious side of
Exactly,
things, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So you're going to see the Masters do the exact same, and at the end then we'll give them a separate final.
Brilliant.
So we'll give them a separate final based off of their leaderboard. And I'm just really looking forward to it. I think fair play to all the Masters for stepping up to the 3 days. We still have our RX teams, but the individuals, you know, it's not going to be an easy 3 days for them.
No.
It's going to be a grind for the 3 days. There are no spring chickens. Some of them are in their 40s. And I just think, fair folks.
Takes a lot, yeah. It takes a lot to sign up and commit to something like that.
It does, man.
Or
It
you're
does.
you're going to be sore for a while after
Yeah.
because of the volume we get through.
You have them old man knees and the
Yeah.
old man shoulders and all that kind of stuff. So check out that, guys. So so we're planning on 4 venues hopefully this year. First time ever for Ireland, and I can't really think of any other competition that did it either. So again, every year what I'm thinking about with the programming is I want to take it a step further within safety boundaries. I want to bring in another test. I want to change a movement. I want to do this. I want to do that. And the broader the test then, the person who comes out on top then is the true fittest person
Yeah.
of the weekend.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I'm probably the fittest person in Ireland now after this. You know, 100%, because if we can get Petey on board, then we have all the top dogs, and whoever comes out, whoever's standing on the podium at the end of the 3 days is literally the fittest man and woman in
Yeah.
Ireland. That's a fact. So spectators, we're not sure about. The next thing, vendors. We're again, skipping rope is definitely on board. We're going to go back through all and contact all the other vendors and see. Ollie is 100% on board. They're going to be taking care of us as usual. They're going to be supplying all our volunteers and our judges with the nice teas, and keeping us fresh for the weekend. Shout out to Lewis. He's actually doing the comp as
Lewis
well.
competing as well, yeah.
Back
Lewis
out.
is a fit boy. I can't
He
wait to
is,
see what he has.
he is,
yeah.
man. He got some good numbers on the
Yeah.
open and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's going to be interesting to see him
Yeah.
out there. What else have we? Yeah, basically again, the vendors is kind of dependent on who wants to come, who's comfortable coming, and is there going to be spectators there. Even though you'll have a lot of athletes, I think the majority of the people who spend the money are the spectators.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure, obviously, it's worthwhile for the vendors to come down and stuff like that. We are going to basically try and keep it as much in line with last year as possible. You know, making it as big as possible, but as safe as possible.
Okay.
we can't have just people running all over the place and bumping into each other and sneezing on each other and shit like that. It's just not acceptable. You know what I mean? Not that many people did that last year.
Well, yeah, no, CrossFit competitions are messy though.
Yeah.
They're messy places. Like
Yeah.
everything is kind of all over the place, and people are on top of each other and high five and sweaty and
Yeah.
hugging each other, sweaty bodies. And
Yeah, we'll have to insist
So,
on no hugs this
it
year.
has to be just something.
no
where
high
there's,
fiving
stuff
and
in,
stuff
like you were
like
saying,
that.
stuff in place to where we keep our distance. Because
Yeah.
I did look at those guidelines that they brought out, and it was just like we can. Everything is like whatever phase we're going into, phase 5, phase 4, like
Yeah.
whatever it is, if social distancing is maintained. So
Yeah, we're
if we
good.
stay on top of that, I'd say we're grand. You know.
Make sure your partner is not infected. That's basically it. For the teams and for the individuals, just be washing your hands and do everything we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure by this stage people will be back in the gyms, they'll be touching bars and stuff, but we'll have our COVID marshals wiping them down between the things, as I said. And yeah, that's basically it, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
yeah.
all the stuff we have to talk about today. We'll be doing a couple of more of these. I think if we do one a month, Shane,
Yeah.
we could keep people
Bring up to
updated
date
and
on it, yeah.
stuff like
it's
that.
easier than answering all the questions. on
It is,
Instagram.
it is. I will definitely get back to everyone as well, lads. I'm going to give you all a little message today, all the people who didn't get a reply yet. My apologies, it's been absolutely mental. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes and other stuff as well. We also, guys, I forgot to mention it, 2 weeks after the IFC, we'll be launching the very first IFG.
Oh yeah.
So the Irish Fitness Games. So basically my idea behind this was that we have a CrossFit competition, the Irish Fitness Championships, and it's one of our national competitions. It's very popular every year, thank God. Shout out to everyone who signed up over the years. It's quite a high level comp, and then it drizzles down with the other divisions,
Yeah.
we'll say. You know, so you have the top of the top, and then you have the other divisions going down all the way down to scale. My vision for the Irish Fitness Games originally was to give a competition for non-CrossFitters. So what I thought was, Jesus, how many people are doing CrossFit in Ireland? A small percentage of the people who actually train.
Yeah.
So you have this massive pool of people that are doing boot camps, that are in, the Ben Duns and the bigger gyms, and they do all the fitness classes and all that kind of stuff, but they're probably not equipped physically and even mentally, like they would be intimidated to do a CrossFit competition.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because they see all these CrossFitters as being,
CrossFit's
way better
quite a
or whatever.
tight-knit community as well.
It is,
Yeah.
it is. And if they're not in a CrossFit gym or a functional fitness gym, then they
Even
may
the lingo
feel
and what we talk, how we
Yeah.
talk about different movements
Yes,
and
yeah.
workout stuff is very foreign to people.
it's
like,
quite far ahead in
Yeah.
terms of
A lot of those people as well are probably doing a version of CrossFit.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of after CrossFit is after kind of changing the whole functional fitness
yes.
boot camp circuit training type. The way it was say 10 years ago versus now is very different because of what CrossFit, like the thrusters,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like that
Yeah.
wasn't around before.
No way, man.
People are doing CrossFit, but they're not CrossFitters
Yeah,
as
yeah.
such. We're not.
And
they're
they
not
might be,
labelled as that.
they might look at the Irish Fitness Championships,
Yeah.
even the World Championships.
Too much.
It might be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
So my vision for this was, right, why can't we make like a fun competition? I looked at the likes of the Battle of Cancer and stuff like that. Something that anyone who does a fitness class can access. They can get a couple of their buddies, 3 of them, so it's a 4-person competition. 2 males, 2 females, any different fitness level. There'll be no barbells, no rigs, so all them people in the fitness classes can take part. So this was the original idea. So we started marketing that, started putting it out there, putting it out to all the gyms and stuff like that. And then boom, Mr. COVID came along and smashed everyone and took away your barbells, took away your rigs, took away all that kind of stuff. So now what I'm leaning towards is, with the Irish Fitness Games, is let's just open it up to everyone. Whoever wants to take part can take part, because the majority, I would say, of the Irish CrossFit community are training with dumbbells
Yeah.
and kettlebells.
Dumbbells, kettlebells, and they're doing burpees.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what everyone's doing right
And
now.
guess what we're going to be doing in the Irish Fitness Games? Dumbbells, kettlebells, burpees, box jumps, push-ups, running, rowing, pulling sleds, all the basics. Like a boot campy style competition, but it's accessible to everyone. So that is going to be going on sale now next week. So there's an Irish Fitness Games Instagram, there's an Irish Fitness Games Facebook page. We're going to do the exact same thing as we did with the IFC. We're going to release the tickets at 7 p.m. Next week. And if you want to get together with your friends, if you have no interest in the IFC because there's barbells involved and all that kind of stuff, but you still want a little fun competition to do, it's going to be out in the Wit. It's going to be a one-day comp on a Sunday. We're hoping to have around 20 to 30 teams. It'll be all levels, so don't worry about your current fitness level. You can train with your dumbbell. We'll release some kind of, like a little tester workouts and stuff like
samples,
that. It's very accessible in terms of price as well. It's only €160 for a team of 4. And it's just going to be a really fun day. I'm hoping Concept is going to be down there as well. They're going to be supplying the t-shirts for the judges and whatnot. And so if you're interested in a low-key fitness competition, you don't want to mess with the barbells or the rig at this stage, and you just want to get together with your buddies, have some fun, and there will be podium spots as well. So with the winning team will be crowned the Irish Fitness Games champions, and they'll be invited again back next year. You get prizes and you get all that kind of business. So keep an eye out for that, folks. Again, it's 2 weeks after the IFC, so it's in the middle of September. And again, it's a nice entry-level competition for people doing their fitness. And that's basically it, lads. Shane, have we anything else to talk about?
Don't think so. It looks like we got through everything there.
Yeah. Okay, guys. That's a wrap for episode 25. This is like going to be an update show, maybe once a month. We'll tune in. We'll give you any kind of new information that we've decided for over the next, month or 4 weeks or whatever it is. Until then, enjoy our training. Train safe, try and get your hands on some bars and some rigs. Get the hands a little bit calloused again, and we will see you back here in a few